All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. It's a Monday. We got some stuff to do today. Got a little bit of a different setup going on. My little character's not working again, huh? We have to make some modifications here. Things have been broken different today, so. Check. Check 1, 2. Oh, that's broken. Okay, that should, there we go. Now we're working. Hopefully it doesn't break our music or anything. A little bit of a different setup today. Trying to see if we can run OBS through the GPU instead of the CPU. See if that helps at all with some of our problems that we normally have. Also going to be working on not digital things. Slightly different. Like I said, a little bit of different setup today. We're going to play around. I've got some work to get done, so I got the microphone over by my workspace for the day, so it's going to be, if I sound a little bit distant, because I'm not on top of the microphone as I normally am, and the computer is a little bit further away, so I have to do some finagling today to get this to work, but we're going to do it. So I'm going to switch over and we're going to get going today. So. Okay, it should be, there we go. Yeah, we're all set up. I might get my shadow in here a little bit. Open up some more light. There we go. That might be a little bit better. So a few months ago, maybe a month or so, maybe a month and a half ago, we did some work on our carving for our linoleum block to get some prints, basically make a stamp so that we can stamp these bags that I wanted to put together. And the stamp came out okay. It was having some issues. I did some other reconditioning with it, sanded part of it down and stuff like that so that I could try to get the ink to grab hold again. But I haven't had a chance to try it out. This is my sample bag here, the one with a little color on it. We turned it inside out a couple times and printed, trying to get some good prints out of it, and varying results. But I ended up changing it out and getting a screen print kit, because I know how to do screen printing as well, and put that together. They're called easy screens. I tried it out. It's new. It's an interesting material, not as good as typical photo emulsion screen printing screens, because like once you get them wet again, they want to try to come apart. So it's interesting. But I was able to get my bags printed that I wanted much closer than what they looked like before. So you can see a little bit here. This is my test print that I made of the screen print, and really nice, like blacks and stuff like that. We got a little bit light here, but this is the first print, so anytime you squeegee your first one is always going to be a little bit of an issue, but nice details, consistent. I like that a lot better than the hand printed ones that I was doing before. So I'll turn this inside out for you real quick. So you can see the other side. So these were the stamp prints, I believe. Yeah. So they weren't bad. Like the details and stuff were there that I wanted, but you can see how light this was. It just wasn't holding the ink very well. And even when I finally got a little bit more ink on it, like this one, it really just did not want to transfer very well, and made these weird kind of like silhouette style setups. So that's why I was just like, you know what, this is not working for some reason. I don't know quite what's going on. So that's why I switched over to the screen printing to be more consistent, closer to what I want. But like I said, I still have the block that I want to test out again now that I've sanded it down. Hopefully it'll give the ink something a little bit more to hold on to so that we can try it out. But for now, we got some screen printed ones that worked out much better the way I like them, so we're gonna go ahead and do those. But for this, since these were all hand printed and stuff like that, we're going to do kind of like the block printing style. We're going to put our name on them, the date 2026, and we're going to put the number that they were printed in, the order that they were printed in. So not that it means a whole bunch of anything, but it's just kind of something I thought about doing. I don't know, kind of fun. So that's what we're going to do today. We have some fabric ink markers that we're going to go through and sign all these and get them ready for to be ironed so they can get all the ink set on them and stuff like that. So that's the plan. That's the idea. That's what we're doing today. Here's our mock-up, our sample here. Hello. There we go. We got 1 of 22 on there. First one. That's a smart idea.
think I'm on the verge of a breakthrough.
Okay, something like that. Kind of the idea. Cool, that will work. I think I want to redo this though, so that I can get a better. Something like that. Then I can just slide that in there and I should be able to copy it through. Kind of the idea here. And these are fabric markers, so they're supposed to be, once I iron them, set them, they should be good to wash and stuff like that. So that's the idea here. So got number 1 done. It's cool, good. Let's move that one. $22 more to go. Yeah, this is the nice thing about this material, is that I can see through it. It's just opaque enough with the weave that you can actually see like my drawing behind it, so makes it easier to line up the names and stuff how I want them to look. Not bad. Takes a lot of concentration though. I'm gonna make sure I fill in all the little spots that I might have missed. A marker compared to like ink is like this guy for the screen print. You just press it into the material and then squeegee it, so it kind of leaves a little bit of a, I don't know, it sits on top of the material rather than, like, this feels like it's going into the material. I hope it's 2026. I keep doubting myself, being like, did I write this right? Wouldn't be the first time that I've messed up a date recently. Okay. Got 20 more to go. A little fuzzy there. We'll move some stuff around. Hey, thank you, Dreamer, for sending in your points. Appreciate that. Can I put this right there? Yeah, I can put that right there. It's not in the screen. We need to figure out which event we're gonna sell these at. If we're gonna do these at the market, or which one we're gonna have these at. Essentially what we're doing today is a lot of coloring. That's the idea. That's right. This will be limited to just these 22 for the foreseeable future at the moment. Had to go back out and re-iron number 4 here because it was all folded funky, and I didn't realize that when I had originally done the print on it, that I had folded it, because this was the main area I was worried about. The rest of it's not so much. It might be a little bit more of a quiet stream for me, because if I'm concentrating, I'm going to be paying attention to everything that I'm doing here. But I am checking chat, so if anybody has anything, questions, comments, concerns, feel free to throw them in chat. I will see them. I got my phone just off screen here. I'm a little far away from... I could probably read it off the computer too, but it's a little ways away. And if anybody is here watching, I do have a button down in the reward redemptions for your buttons points. If a ad break is on its way or in the middle of and I missed, feel free to hit that so that it'll notify me. You can also check in on the stream now. I also added a button for that, so if you just want to pop in, you don't even have to say hi. You can just check in there, and then you'll get a shout out at the end of the stream. Easy peasy. Not as cool as like Yumi's Yumi Cafe's stream, where you get the little treats, little digital treats kind of idea. But it works for now. So I can get all the ideas kind of settled in and figured out how I want them to work. I'm assuming at some point I'll get to a stage where I'll redesign a bunch of the elements for our stream and get them all updated with cool new stuff. Make everything, because right now we're still kind of like not very cohesive. We're a little bit, but not a lot. So we'll get there. Also, sorry that we did not have a episode for 500 Little Things last night. We did the Mother's Day stuff. We kind of realized it after we did our last stream. We're like, oh shit, next Sunday is Mother's Day. Like, oh, maybe we won't be doing our cooking stream on that one. It's like, that might be a little stretching it. Just depends. Sometimes we got a lot going on, sometimes we have a little going on. We ended up doing a bunch of stuff, got invited over to a neighbor's house, which was fun. Yeah, did some things. Okay, number 4 is done. I have to be very conscious, very careful of this, because I know I have 1 written here, and every time I try to go, I start to write this one, I'm like, oh, I want to write a 1. And I have to remember, each one is progressing. I tried to convince Dreamer to see if we wanted to do color like this, because I have a whole set of these colored fabric markers, and she kind of like the black and white a little bit better. So if you think we should do color, let me know. We could also, when we get done with signing all these, which may take us the whole 3 hours, just depending. This is a long process. We might play with that one a little bit and try some more colors on it just to see what we can do with it. So this is the hard part about doing something like this, or having a setup like this, is when you're doing some type of printmaking or anything like that. If you're doing an edition of these, like we have 22, I can't mess up on these. Like, all 22 have to have the numbers put on them correctly, have to be signed correctly. If I mess up on one, it changes the whole entire count. So you need to be very, very, very careful and very diligent with your setup and how you got things going on. Can't make any mistakes. That's why I'm taking my extra time here, going extra slow, making sure to be very patient with what I'm doing. It can be a little bit off. It's not bad if you make a little mistake. But big mistakes, or as Bob Ross would say, happy accidents. We're going to try to minimize those little happy accidents if we can. I'm going to try. Auto held, somebody tried to... Yes, viewers, deny. Nothing but bots. No, I wonder if those bots ever actually get anybody to... But I guess the whole idea is not for them to actually do the thing that they're talking about. It's just for you to click on it or go there, and then they probably have access to your account somehow. Probably how that works. don't want to test it out. Big question is, will this marker hold out for all 22 of these? Not like we're doing a whole bunch of fill. Not like we're coloring in the whole bag or anything like that. That's the prediction. Will Tahoe run out of ink before he reaches the end? Tune in next week. The thrilling conclusion. Yeah, looks good. Beautiful. you ever want to learn like good breathing techniques, do art and try to be as precise as you can. You'll learn very quickly how to control some of those things. You want nice even flow of your strokes and stuff like that. Learn how to control that breathing. The funny part is like the studies have shown, like when you do art and creative things like that, like your heart rate comes down and stuff like that. Part of it, I think, has to do with being able to moderate some of that. You need to be able to control part of your heart rate and stuff like that, because if you're all jittery and stuff like that, you're going to be all over the place. Being able to moderate your heart rate through your breath, breathing techniques and stuff like that. Definitely helpful. Also reduces the amount of anxiety you feel about making sure you don't mess up. Oh, the girls wants to go outside. It's almost perfect timing too. I hear you, Sora. I'm coming. I'm on a roll. You don't want me to stop. I want to finish off that whole line and then we can come get you. I'm coming. Now that we've reached the warmer part of the year, or at least starting to warm, I would say starting to warm, it jumped to warm very fast. Anyways, now is when Sora plays the in and out game. I'm gonna go outside, I'm gonna bake in the sun for a little bit, to the point where I'm condensating out of my nose, and then I want to come in and go find the tile in your bathroom and lay on that until I cool off. That will be the rotation for the summer. And there will be several times, probably even on stream, where she will want to go outside to do her sunbathing in 99 degree weather or 100 degree plus weather, and I will have to tell her no, and she will protest. That's what she does. She loves being outside. Works. 6. When I get done with them here, I take them to the other end of the table and lay them out so that they get to dry a little bit without having any pressure or any other bags on top of them. That'll get transferred to our ironing station at some point. 7. Take shit for this all the time, but I do my number 7s a little bit differently than most people. I also do my zeros differently than everybody. So most people do like a Sybil 7. I always do the little line across. Just so we don't get confused with number 1. I also do the zeros if it's a 0 with a line through it. This way, O's and zeros are different. There we go. Here's the Weirdo Burrito number 7s, which are not weirdo at all. The question is, do we need to move the camera setup so you guys can see a little bit better? Would that be beneficial? do this one, and then we got ads coming up. Interesting, it doesn't show it on the phone app, which is weird. There we go. Number 7 is done. Beautiful. All right, peoples, we've got about 1 minute and 30 seconds until our first ad break here. So I'm going to switch us over to our outside cam. We'll see if our puppy is outside doing her thing, our assistant, and then we'll go from there. So stick around. We'll be back here after we run our 3-minute ad break. Okay, I didn't have to go very far. That worked out better than I thought it was going to. So, yeah, like I said, stick around. We'll be right back after we get back from those ads. All right, we are back. Back to number 8 here. Thanks for sticking around. I don't know, I kind of put that out as a prediction for the video, being like, there's a slight possibility that this pen could run out. But that's the big question, whether I'll be able to get all 22 done with this one. I think if I was like coloring in stuff like heavily everywhere, probably not, but the fact that you're being very careful, I am being super careful. Being very regimented right now. Oh. Inverness, did you ever take any like printmaking when you were around doing, before you got into the photography stuff? Or were you ever around anybody that did printmaking stuff? Full concentration. Yes, I have a printing minor. Oh, yeah, you know what's going on then. So I'm doing the additioning stuff where you do the count for the number. So this is 8 of 22, and then you sign and date it, kind of thing. So these were the bags that we've been working on lately, that I ended up screen printing, screen printed by hand, every single one of them, and then I marked them all so that I knew which one they were in the series. So now I'm writing them all out so that they have a little personalization to them. They're one of a kind in that way. They look great. Thank you. Yeah, I tried when we were doing the block printing, and I was doing all that cutting and stuff like that. I was hoping to have better success with that block print, and it ended up being. I showed the example. Show it again real quick. We can compare the two. If I can get this turned inside out correctly. So this was our block printing attempt here with our stamp that we made, and it worked, but I think I had an old piece of linoleum from my printmaking days that I tried to use for this. It might have been too old, and I didn't think about it before I used it. I probably should have conditioned it by sanding it down and stuff like that, or just giving it a nice good, something to prepare the surface, hopefully for ink and stuff like that. But I didn't do that at the time. So the ink did not want to hold on to the block very well. So when we try to transfer it to the bag, it didn't want to come off of the block onto the bag. So it was just a myriad of errors. You can see it's like some of this got darker as it got through, but it just was too inconsistent for what I wanted. It would have worked, like the details and stuff looked pretty dang good. But yeah, it was hit or miss. So I swapped over to a screen printing stock because I wanted to make sure that these blacks and stuff like that were super rich and consistent across the board, and that came out much better. So that was our transition. There you go, Alex. You get to see why we switched over to the screen printing over the block. So I did go back and sand down what I could. I haven't retested it yet to see if it works. And I did some more like work to the inner parts of the block to make sure and get things cleared out. So I still have the block. It may be good for paper printing, maybe not material printing. So that's something I'll experiment with again later. But for our bags and stuff like that, the screen printing was way more consistent. So that's why I picked that. Let's see. Printer in a minor? That's not good. It makes sense. A weird mistake. Beep. Yeah, Vern is totally into minors. I mean, wait, what? It was a long time ago. It was a phase. She's fine. Ew. No, I was thinking about it when we were putting, let's not joke about that. No, it's never a joke. I was thinking about this when we were discussing the bags and stuff like that. And I had made a design that I had put onto my Printify account that was really cool, and we really liked that, but the cost for it was far too high. So we were thinking more along the lines of this direction, because then it would feel more along the lines of an art piece rather than a production piece, you know. Even though like screen printing is a slightly more production-y, it's still like, for me, it's not done on a machine or anything like that. And even getting the screen prepped and everything else like that, like it was a whole thing I had to do essentially by hand in a lot of ways. So it's definitely, I feel, still in that, you know, handmade scenario setup. We went more with the unique handmade quality idea rather than the high production, more expensive style. I don't know, maybe people like it, I don't know. I'm also cheap and don't have a lot of money, so that's also a factor as well. 9 is done. Problem is I want all of the cool things, but without having like a rich investor to be able to back all the stuff, it's hard. I am interested how people get Kickstarter stuff put together. That interests me as well. Sorry, I don't have energy drinks today, so my filter is gone. You're okay. How's everybody's Monday going? Are you working at home today, Vern? Hopefully nothing too crazy going on at work for you, Alex. Also, I was talking about this earlier, but we can ask Inverness too. Do you feel, as you've progressed through your journey of photography and art and such, that, especially like for something like this where I'm concentrating super hard, you've learned breathing techniques in order to make sure that your stuff stays consistent and, as I was gonna say perfect, but you know what I mean, like, you have to be very controlled when you're doing certain aspects of your creative endeavor. And like for this, I have to keep my heart rate low and make sure that as I'm doing certain strokes and stuff like that, I'm not doing weird exhales and stuff like that too. I don't know if many people recognize that or not, or if that's just something I think about. That's also about making sure I'm not rushing too, right? That's part of the getting the breathing and stuff down, is moderating that anxiety part.
very intentional with your movements and everything. Like I said, when you're doing something like this where you have a very limited amount of additions that you've made and you're numbering them all and stuff like that, no room for mistakes. So you have to be very, very regimental about your stuff.
Number 9 is done. Perfect. Hoping to get to number 11 by 10:30 so that I'm halfway done. Pushing up against that a little bit, but not too bad. Like I said, don't want to rush either. Sorry, yes, trying to get some things done. No worries. Pay attention to me, Vern. Ugh. Monday busy and down 2 people. Ugh. Double ugh. I'm here for more support. That's all. That's great. That's all I ask. I appreciate that very much. I do that on other streams for people too. Sometimes I just put it on in the background for the moral support. So number go up. Just the idea. So thank you. For context, it's a crew of 5, including me. So you're down to 3? Or do you normally have 5, 6, 7, 8? Do you normally have 8 there? Also, you work at the dealership, right, Alex? It's a repair. I would say repair. It's service and dealer. Correct? I have questions.
Yep, correct. Okay. Um, do you feel like the we call them sharks, but the salesman on the floor, car salesman on the floor, do you feel like the turnover rate for them employees is pretty high for sellers? Only reason why I ask is every time I go into the Toyota here, I feel like, because we were going every 3 years when our lease was up on our vehicles, and not so much anymore. I felt like every time I went in there, I never saw the same people twice. Here it's low turnover. Okay. So smaller area, smaller setup. But based off of what you said, you guys have a pretty good setup though. So I would assume you guys were like slightly bigger than. Would you say you're a smaller one in your city town than others? Is there someone that's bigger than you guys? I would say Toyota has the biggest setup in our city right now. You know, I think Ford is. I don't remember if they built their brand new one or not. Shout out to Dolan Toyota. If you guys want to sponsor the streams, please let me know. They're like, yeah, there's 3 people watching. We're not going to support that. I was like, dang it. Dang it. Worth a shot. I do like how they give me a discount on my services and stuff since I did buy the vehicle from them, which is cool. I do like that. I'm not totally sure. Haven't paid much attention to other dealers. Gotcha. Well, the only reason why I say something like that is because you got to see the building, the dealership here. I sent you that picture. And even you were like, damn, that's huge. They are the only ones with a dedicated parking garage for all of their inventory and stuff like that. So that's considered big to me in that way. Everybody else has flat lots that they keep all their stuff on. So, and you saw the service room and stuff like that with their, 4-car inlet and stuff like that. So I consider that pretty big, especially after going to like the Jeep dealership and then it being very chintzy, tiny. We rent a lot across the street for overflow of new cars, but that's it, yeah. Yeah, I don't expect or think that many dealerships have their own parking garage for their inventory, so that's kind of why I'm asking them. Like, it's got to be fairly unique, which is weird because like you would think if they had to go that far with their setup that they're probably the only Toyota dealership or whatever in the state or something like that. But just down the street in Carson City, they have a dealership there too. So I don't know, but they do sell a lot there, so maybe that's why. That's the other hard part, is like California's right over the hill as well, so I know there's a ton of dealerships down in like Sacramento and everything else like that, so it can't be one of their bigger, maybe it is one of their bigger ones. I don't know. I don't know much about him. And get Dreamer to go and see if she can sell a house to the Dolan family, and then we'll get all the infos. They have a realtor in the family? That's funny. Yeah, but they don't have you. But they don't have you. How do you know that they have a realtor in the family? Is that a topic of conversation that's come up before somewhere? That's funny. Realtors are the scuttlebutts of the peoples. They know all the things. Scuttlebutts, yeah.
I'm okay with that.
You guys know everybody. You know all the things that are happening. You guys are the lifeblood and the pulse of the community. Mactic's got his wife to play Warframe with him, and he crashed out on her. Oh no! I feel that. I feel that a lot. Do you feel when you started playing Destiny a little bit, was I harsh on you? Yeah, Dreamer confirms. Definitely harsh on her. Which is fair. I may have to go back and do all the zeros. The clip. If it's that close to call, it makes sense getting the out-of-state sales and cars. No Kelly emissions. Yeah. We still run a lot close to what the Cali emissions are. State does, so that's not much of a difference. The sales tax would be the big one. Yeah. Because that's the funny thing about Nevada, is we have certain things that we don't follow, but because we are such close neighbors, there's a lot of things that we do follow that they do because of that problem, right? Of sharing stuff across that very thin border. It would make it more difficult to then have to deregulate something that's already regulated in that way. So that's shocking. Washington is essentially California too, but without heavy emissions. Yeah, no, they still make us do our emissions tests and everything else like that. All the same, it might not be as expensive, but I realized now that I might need to go back. Normally when I do my zeros, I do the line through them so that they're zeros and not O's. We talked about, especially with a Tahoe enemy right there. I might need to go back and add my cross through all of those that I just did. All the other ones. It's a silly thing, but it's a thing I do. Make it look like... Let's see if I can go closer. Yeah. Something like that. So that it looks like... 11th. Number 11. We're halfway through. Huzzah! Hey, thank you, Sonny, for putting your points in. Emissions and state inspection was killed over 10 years ago. Oh, interesting. Why did they do that? Just because it was just too much? Too much for them to do, or? We have to go get our smog every year. Smog and emissions test. Once I get done with these, Dreamer, then you can iron them all. Yeah. Technically, you could iron right now. I'd have to go through and fix all of those zeros that I messed up on. Yeah, I forgot that when I do the 2026, I was supposed to put the mark through the 0. I did already. That's what I do. How I do them. I did it on the 1. So they all will need to do it. Ooh, that one got ironed funky. If I didn't have the O in Tahoe anime, then I would say, yeah, I'm good, but just the way I do it, I differentiate my O's and my zeros. My O's from my hoes, yep. That's a quote from Dreamer. I didn't come up with that myself. I forget where I picked that up from. The 7s and the 0s have a special extra little mark on them to get them to look right. I don't remember where I learned that from. How are we doing on our time? We're doing fine. Now we're near our next ad break, which is good. don't know the real reason, but I imagine it was cheaper to stop doing them than build more facilities, and it was packed all the time. That makes sense. I don't know what the difference is, but we have little kiosks all over the city, all over everywhere. So you can like literally pull into. We have one right by our like Kohl's and Safeway and stuff like that. But it's literally just a shack, and you pull up. They come out. They plug into the systems. Start your car. They run the emissions test straight from in the car, and then they go back, check the tailpipe and stuff like that. And you can pay your registration and everything straight from there. They give you your certificate right at that point, and you get to drive off, and you're done. So it's super easy and fast. There's hardly it takes 10 minutes maybe normally, maybe 15. But yeah, we have those little kiosks all over the place. So our emissions test is probably a little bit easier. There was only 2 per county. Oh wow. Yeah, it's much different here, where you can set up an emissions test place yourself, get the equipment, and just kind of set up if there's a booth or a shop space. Yeah, small shop space, you can do it. If that. Wow, that is rough. No, that was one of the nicer things about all that was state run. Yeah, see, I think maybe that's the difference, is ours are not state run. I think you have to go get your license to do emissions test. But even like in a little strip mall or strip, outlet or something like that, you can set up an emissions test place. And like I said, you can pay your registration and stuff at the time of your testing and stuff, which is super nice. So it's all connected to the state, but it's run individually. It's super fast, like I was saying. Much different experience than when I had to do it in California, for sure. I can't give the state of Nevada too much because half the time... Oh, by the way, babe. No, we paid your registration and did all that. Yeah. There was something else I wanted to go look at. I can't remember what it was. I know it made the national news, but our DMV, somebody hacked into it and it was crashed for like a month. So anybody that bought a new car or anything like that, it was backed up for quite a long time. It was I still don't think they've fully recovered from that either, which is the worst part. I think I gotta go get a new license this year. I think that's my next big thing is I'm due for a new license. I think that's what I was gonna go do, is sign up for that, and it was down. Do either of you know how much? Do you know much about 3D printers? I know a little bit. It depends on which one you're trying to get. Are you getting a liquid 3D printer, or are you getting a filament 3D printer? I'm playing with the idea of one. Gotcha. I know from my experience, because I was thinking about them for a little while too, and actually I even had cousins buy me one for I think it was Christmas or a birthday or something like that, and I ended up having to return it because it was one of those. It was a really nice one too. It was one of those liquid ones, and I didn't realize at the time that the printer itself and everything and the liquids were fine, but then you had to have a drying or a curing station. You had to have a bath or washing station too. Like the extra components that all came along with it was like, oh, whoa, that's way more than I was thinking this was going to be. So it was a much bigger commitment for time, space, as well as like toxicity, because like the fumes and stuff from the printers is pretty high. So like being able to make sure that I was venting everything properly, and was just like, wow, this is they make it seem so like easy. Just throw a 3D printer. And it's like, no, it's a little bit more intense setup than you think it is. The investment is much higher than what they show. I know nothing about them personally. Oh, okay. So there are two different kinds of printers. There's filament printers, which is the roll of plastic in that long beaded filament style. There are many different types of filaments. There are different printers that print with some filaments and some that print with that allow you to use more different kinds of filaments than others. So if you get a cheap 3D printer, it may not run the type of filament that you want to be able to use. So that's always something to think about and look into, making sure that like if you're prototyping some kind of product and you want it to be on a flexible TPU or something like that, I think that's the right name, then you want to make sure you have the right printer to be able to use that filament and stuff like that. So that's something. The liquid printers are pretty cool. They essentially, it's like having an iPhone connected to a dolly that dips itself down into the liquid and then uses the screen to cure the piece of the liquid inside, and then it moves up just ever so slightly and then cures again. That's the process. It slowly builds going backwards through the liquid, which is really cool. You're going to get way tighter details with that, but that one's a much bigger process, where once you get done with the print, you have to wash it, get all the liquids off of it, and then you have to put it into a UV cure station to cure it, to make sure it's nice and hard, and stuff like that. And then you can sand it and do all the stuff you want to it. So like I said, that one's a much better 3D printer, but the process for it is way more intense. You have to do much more post-processing stuff for it. Oh, because I have files to make this storage container for cables. I'm also going to get some files to make like mounting arms that are pretty modular. That'd be cool. You can also check, there are some places that you can get stuff 3D printed without having to have a 3D printer. That's an option. The other one is I know that local libraries also have 3D printer queues that you can, if you have a library card, you can actually use their 3D printers for a certain amount of things. They have a limit on like monthly usage, but that's an option. If there are any maker spaces in town, a lot of them also have 3D printers on hand that you can, like, if it could be a membership or could be a subscription or of some sorts. But yeah, that's an option too. "3D Sandcastle still confuses me." It's small town, so I don't think we have any of those. You never know. Like, you never know what somebody does or doesn't have. Or always worth checking to see. I grew up in a small town, and they have a big makerspace up there now too. Granted, it's a skiing town, but oh, casting, 3D sand casting still confuses me. It's the same idea, right? So when you do like liquid, it's surrounded by the liquid. You still need supports and stuff like that, but the sand becomes the partial substructure that holds things up. It's a cool idea. Have you ever been to the mall and they have on display sometimes or have you ever been to a mall that has, or I guess any kind of a business could be, anyways, has like laser etchings. It has like a glass, either globe or like a square, and they're like, oh, give us a picture and we'll 3D etch it inside of the, inside of the glass or crystal, whatever it is. It's the same idea, right? Like they're passing a laser through to a certain depth, and that's where they're either burning material or melting material to get it to what's a mall. God damn it. It's a place that you go, that all the kids go nowadays. You wouldn't know, you're too old. You're an old man. All the hip new kids go and hang out. They buy smoothies. Go to Hot Topic.
You sure dating yourself.
I am really dating myself. I didn't say Suncoast Video. That would have really dated me.
Local blockbuster.
The local Blockbuster, yeah, no. I love how like Blockbuster's the funny joke, but at the same time, the thing that killed Blockbuster was, or partially killed Blockbuster, was Redbox and stuff like that, and those have just disappeared. Nobody talks about those.
Sunny_Ruth says big
What are
stretch.
kids? Thank you, Sunny, for the stretch. Appreciate that. When I do stuff like this is where I feel it in my wrists. So sometimes I like to do little stretches on these. Fingers they don't get as swollen as they used to. Like construction days, these bad boys would get so swollen. Not as bad anymore, which is good. Do some back stretches too. Oh my god, I'm getting old. Holy shit. Careful. Dreamers told me. Careful. I was a Hollywood video person. Ew. My credit card says Blockbuster. That's funny. I have people go, I miss it. It's a thing. Like, it's like a library or a bookstore, right? Like, to go in and see all the things, it can be overwhelming, but at the same time, it was kind of magical because like it felt like you had everything at your fingertips. Not saying that you don't with like online stuff, but it's not the same. It's not the same. And even some look younger go, I miss Blockbuster, and I'm like, I don't think you were even old enough to know it. You don't know. It was a superior way of just discovering movies and games. Yeah, it really was.
I love the day you get picked up and your mom's like, we're taking to a blockbuster. Yes.
Yeah. Dreamers like was saying when you'd get picked up from school or whatever, and your mom or parent would be like, "We're going to Blockbuster to pick a movie," and you're like, "Yeah!" and you get all jazzed and excited. Yeah, I do remember that. We did have one Blockbuster in our hometown, our little town. And we had a little movie store out by my house, but it was like a little like a general store type of movie. Like it probably had less than 100 videos in it, kind of thing, you know. That was the extent of our movie stuff. Still can't believe we had a Blockbuster. They must have made bank though, because they literally were the only thing in town. We didn't even have like the interesting thing about the small town that Dreamer and I grew up in is that we had basic necessities. We had like hardware stores, we had some fast food, a couple fast food restaurants. We had a Lucky's Longs shopping center, Safeway, and was there? Oh, and a CVS, and that was it. So, not even like when you think of like a box store, you think of like Walmart or Target, where they'll have groceries, but they'll have other items like bedding, clothing, movies, those type of things. We didn't have any of that. If we needed any of that kind of stuff, we had to drive to Reno to get any of that stuff. So for a Blockbuster to move into that town where you couldn't even buy a DVD unless it happened to be at the CVS for some weird reason, yeah, that was a huge thing. It's like, oh, we got media. Wow. It was crazy. I remember maybe like twice that we were at Safeway and they had 3 movies on the checkout stand. And we're like, oh, one of these looks good. And we might have bought one from there. But other than that, it was just devoid of anything. We had to drive down to the mall in like I said, in Reno, and go to Suncoast Video to get videos. Granted, we also had Walmart and stuff like that there and Target, but if you wanted access to
We didn't have those.
no, we had
There was like a Kmart. No,
Kmart. Kmart was a big one.
I don't think they had Target.
Target came later. Jamer's correcting my stories. Oh yeah. No, because there was never a Target. There's never been a Target over here. There definitely wasn't. Sparks didn't exist at that time. The Marina?
No, not Sparks
No.
in general existed.
Oh no, I know Sparks existed, but I mean like the Marina and stuff like that. That mall didn't exist till later.
Only mall that was-
Mine was next to a Baskin Robbins. That's perfect. That's perfect placement. Yeah, we had a Radio Shack next to our Baskin Robbins, and then it became a Taco Bell.
And then
Well, then it turned into GameStop, and then which I worked at, but or however you spelt it. Movie night and pizza, essentially. Yeah, nice. No trailers for us, just read the back of the box. Now you can watch the trailer on Amazon. Yeah. Yeah, ours was, I don't know if you heard Dreamer in the background, but our Blockbuster was near Little Caesars and a Dairy Queen. And the DMV.
And anybody who knows, they know. That city is pretty, that town is pretty knowable. Let's move this here.
Sunny_Ruth just redeemed AD break incoming.
Hey, thank you, Sonny. I appreciate that. Let's see. Where is the head break? And oh yeah, it's all popped up. So we'll swap over. There we go. There's our assistant for the week, or for the month, for the year, for the days. Damn, I nailed it. Yeah, you did. That's exactly why that's there. I appreciate it. I also put in a new module for check-ins too, for anybody that wants to check into the stream, so then I can give them a shout out at the very end as well. Helps me remember who was here. She's doing pretty good. She was sad the first few days because the two of them would eat together, and she recognized that something was weird when we would bring her food bowl over and not Patch's food bowl. She already knew kind of what was going on, because when we had taken Patch in, I brought his blanket with him. So what they say is if your animal passes away, have something to bring back to your other animals so that they can smell it, because generally, like, when you pass away, you emit a smell or whatever like that can be embedded in like a blanket. So that's what we did. So we brought it back, and Sora gave it like the deepest of sniffs when we got it back that Sunday. And so we were pretty sure she knew, but still breaking that routine of him not being there and putting that bowl down. She saw it, she noticed it, because she would just stop and just look at you and be like, okay, I'm waiting for the other bowl. The other bowl's got to be put down before I can eat my dinner. So she's doing good. I think if they would have been like cuddle buddies, I think she would have definitely felt it way more. But it's one of those things, like, they had a peaceful coexistence going on, and she did worry about him. There were times when he wouldn't show up for certain things, or he would make a noise and she'd have to run over and check on him. So there's definitely a piece of her that knows and understands that he's not here, and yeah. But she's doing good. I think it more affects us now, because before, with both of them here, we always felt like they had each other to be able to, if something happened in the house, they could kind of like, oh, there's another creature in the house to kind of bounce information off of to see, what's going on. If Patch is freaking out, then I definitely need to freak out, and vice versa, kind of thing. That now, like, when we leave Sora by herself, we're like, oh, she's all by herself. So, yeah, it's part of it. But yeah, you can see she's definitely broken up about having to hang out outside and be a dog. She does miss her buddy, yes.
And we do get asked a lot whether or not we're gonna get another cat, or surprised that we haven't gotten another one yet.
Sunny_Ruth just in box.
Get Sora new
emoji.
buddy. Yep, there you go.
Suggestion
It's,
box.
Sunny put it in the
Inbox
suggestion
emoji.
box. That's funny. That is a very common thread right now that we get.
Yeah.
I think people just recognize us, that we're the animal people. I can't believe we had 3 animals in this house at one point. Well, I know you do, because you would have a whole menagerie here if you had the ability. I know you do. Zippers waiting. Hey, the cat distribution system, I can't argue with that. If you're walking out on the trail and there's a litter of kittens just, lying right in front of you in the Sora finds, I can't help that. That's the cat distribution system at work. You can't pay somebody to drop off kittens in the middle of the pathway. That's against the rules. That's against the rules. No, it has to be natural. Just if I know somebody that has kittens that need to be adopted. I know you do. I know you keep track of all those things. I was totally about to say I'll pay someone to do that. I knew it, Sonny. Like, if I don't get ahead of this, somebody's gonna figure out around my rules here. Should have known it was gonna be Sonny. I had a slight suspicion it might have been Alex that was gonna try to break that rule, but Sonny's just crazy enough to make it happen. Crazy part is if they work together, we'd definitely be screwed. A box of puppies to be dropped off on the trail right before Dreamer gets there. Oh, that's funny. Box of puppies. Can't help it if they just fall out of the sky. That's not... let's see. It'll be good at playing basketball. No earbuds. It'll be good at playing basketball. That's funny. We do have a basketball hoop in our backyard. Whatever you want. All right, we're on to 16. We're getting close. I don't know if I'll be able to get all of them done before end of stream, but we'll get close.
shackled in chains, these veins long for the pleasure and pain. This rain gives me, came for the fix, left with a wrist covered in gold. Became a mold of a stereotypical rap nigga. Poison into my system, the system is like a prison. Lovely land of the free, but this dream is a contradiction.
one of the-
We listen to the media and all them lies they feeding us. Tried to silence us in the streets, so we threw graffiti up. Peep the message, I'm restless, working these long hours. Saving up my bread to take back what's really ours. The fight for freedom, that revolution has started. These crooked cops shooting at black males like targets. See, this the world we live in. To take back what's given, and think the only way to progress is pervert the killing. Spilling blood on the pavement like sacrifices and payment. Gathering clips of knowledge and aiming it at the system. Damn, another black life gone, but they're resurrected in lyrics when I wrote this song. Young kings, beautiful queens slain in broad light. Got me thinking if my color's wrong, how can I do right? Yeah. Should I
Supposedly that's one of the songs that's on this list, so I'm supposed to be able to use it. We'll find out. Yeah, like Airbud, yeah. I knew that's what you were going for. Oh my god, our kids would die if you brought home a kitten and it was just here when they got home. I think Michelle would cry. Yeah. Is this how you're trying to convince me? Would be interesting. That's a whole different experience for them too, though, because that means that they have to leave that one behind if they decide to go off into the world. Gotta take off. Have a good rest of your stream. Thanks, Alex, for coming by. Appreciate it. Good luck out there with the customers. Make sure you fill up all those brake light fluids. I know how important that is. A way to get them to be like, but I don't want to leave the baby animals. That's true. As he said, it's a good way to get them to basically not want to leave home. Is true. Maybe I should keep that in my back pocket for that day. Be like, we're gonna move out, and be like, we're getting a kid, and they'd be like, what? Well, now we can't move. Like, oh. Yeah, but they'd actually have to clean their rooms though, because that kitten will get into everything.
Get them to clean their room.
I doubt it. I get you. This is a save the marriage kitten. I understand. That's what this is. Wow, says Sunny. When they think about leaving, just announce a new kitten or puppy. Yeah, exactly. Then they'll never leave. No, what you do is you wait until they leave and then you tell them you got a new cat and then they'll be pissed off that they... You waited till we left? What the hell? That would be funny.
Alright. Numero 17. Oh. Yeah, have you thought about when we're going to sell these bags, babe? Which events?
You try it at the Reno Public Market? Okay. That's our next event we got coming up, right? No, we have Bookfest first. Yeah. No, we are not. There's just still books. As far as I know.
Ooh, it's exciting. Ooh, I wonder if we should, you know what, babe? I wonder if we should do our book opening on Wednesday. On stream.
That'd be fun.
Your son's name on it?
Oh, I wonder if that's a DVD. It is. Yes, that's Mac Heavy.
So we've got, I'll leave it up to everybody else. We've got a shipment of books coming in tomorrow, supposedly. It's 126 pounds of books that I ordered. A bunch of the new book number 3, coming for our inventory. A bunch of book number 2, and a bunch of book number 1. So do you think we should do a stream where we open up all the books and go through everything on Wednesday? I think that would be fun. You guys get to see kind of what the process is. We go through and make sure everything looks okay. Check everything. Let me know. Let me know what you think. Eh. Let's see. Then leave and you go, we just adopted a baby cat.
That would have really thrown for a loop. We got a baby kangaroo. What? Baby kangaroo is very plentiful in the area that I live. For sure. Right, babe? We got baby kangaroos around here, right? We could probably go steal one from the animal sanctuary. That'll be fine. It's fine.
We got a squad of penguins.
I could kidnap a squad of quail. That's as close as I could get.
No. Otters. Oh, my son would die. If we had otters, he would die. That's his favorite animal in the world, is otters. When we went down to go to the Monterey Bay Aquarium, that was the one thing he requested. He said, I don't care about anything else. I want to go see the otters. That's all I care about. And a capybara. Might as well throw in a tanuki in there. Okay, I do have to say I'm slightly disappointed in this season of anime. I'm on the brink of not finishing a second show that I started. I'm like 6 or 7 episodes deep, and I'm like, if this doesn't improve, I'm gonna have to dump this one. But I did pick up one my daughter recommended, which is the Witch Hat Altair, I think is what it is. Because there's a character that looks like me in it, so she made me watch it. I was like, okay, I'm invested. He does look like me. You get to the part with the witch with the dark hair and the beard. It's me. Blue eyes. Handsome as fuck. You know. I was trying to make Dreamer laugh. I don't think I made her laugh. It's just a joke. But am I handsome as fuck? Dang. That's good. Alright, got plenty of time. 3 more. Almost done. Yeah, I think I will. Won't be able to stand up today, but I'll get them done. Part of getting old that I don't like. Do all this cool stuff, and tomorrow I'll wake up and be like, oh, my back. My back, my back. Oop, I think we might be slowly running out of ink here. Slowly. Still got lots in it.
And now we have 3 more. Tres más. Tres más.
Same pen. Yep, we're still working on with the same pen. So it has not faltered or given out on me quite yet.
So strong possibility that this one's going to make it to the end. Not bad for a cheapo depot pen I bought on Amazon.
To test out.
Nice, yeah.
See, Sonny, you could have looped Vern in on the attempt to get us a new kitten. She would have definitely participated in that as well. In what? Oh, Sonny, we were talking about, he made the suggestion that we needed to get a new kitten for the house. And I said the only way that a new kitten would get into this house is through the cat distribution system. So it would have to be something like Dreamer's walking down a pathway, walking Sora, and there's a litter of kittens that just in the street right in front of her. And Sonny's just like, got it. Drop off the litter of puppies in front of Dreamer when she's out on her walk. And I was like, oh, I gave bad ideas for that. I was like, if Alex had heard that, he probably would have assisted. If Vern would have heard that suggestion, she would have helped. Yeah, it wouldn't be soon for me. No, you wouldn't help with that? Okay, go. Thank you for holding my back there. Too soon? It's never too soon. Never too soon. I'm glad you think that way. No, we've picked to have some time to, I don't know what the best way to say it is I don't know. I don't know how to say it. We've taken some time in between. At least I am. I so the funny part is that the Saturday before, and it's funny to me because it was cracking me up, and it's still funny to me. The day before Patch passed away, we had to go get cat litter because we were running out, and we go into the pet store. It's me and my daughter, and we turn down the aisle, and our PetSmart has the cases, and they had cats in it, and my daughter just looks at them and goes, "Look, we could get one of the new models." I was like, I was dying in the aisle, just laughing my butt off, just like, "Daughter, that was perfect. That was great." It was just funny. Funny part is like, Dreamer, you and I had talked about maybe getting another companion for Patch maybe like a year ago. We had talked about it, you know, we didn't know when he was going to go. Be like, oh, well, maybe we should get a kitten, and this way, you know, Patch, you know, has some time, and then, you know, essentially then Sora would have a companion here too, and all that, and ended up not pulling the trigger on that, but no, I think I needed time in between. Little bit of tax. Now we can put more attention and stuff into Sora. Give her more loves and everything too. She's doing good. She was a little off the first couple days because both of them used to eat together. You could definitely tell she knew something was, or I don't say weirded out by, but when we would feed both of the animals, we would put both of their bowls down, and when we would just put hers, she'd be like, "That's weird. Why aren't you putting down the other one?" and stuff like that. But like I was telling Sunny earlier, when Patch passed away, we had a blanket with him in it, so when I brought that back, she at least got to smell and you know, understand what had happened because of the smell from the blanket and everything. So like, she was aware of what's going on, but at the same time, the pattern of our daily life that we had put together, once that was slightly weird, and then she kind of questioned, being like, what's happening here? But she went right back to hot girl summer, so she's been outside, hanging out, bathing in the sun, doing all the getting bikini ready. I don't know. It's weird now though, because when we go to like leave to do stuff, it feels weird to like we're leaving her by herself. I think that's the weird part for us right now. He's weird. She doesn't have a companion. Animals get attached to each other too. As much as we get attached to them, they get attached to each other's. It was always weird, the relationship between Patch and Sora. Mutual respect, but, you know, were never mean to each other, never, but they also never like cuddled with each other. They got close. They got close several times. Just never happened. That's the other thing is like we keep seeing videos. That's the hard part is that Instagram listens to everything you say. So now they send us videos of cats with dogs and stuff like that just constantly right now. So we're just like, son of a gun. That's the other problem. Why it's on our mind about maybe another cat is because it just keeps getting thrown at us too. But we always wondered what would be different if we got. Ooh, that got really dry. Pardon me. If we got a kitten, if it would be super cuddly with Sora or not. And if she would allow that. Sora's one of those interesting huskies where when she wants to cuddle, then that's all she wants. She'll dig her nose underneath your arm and everything else and try to get that attention. But if she's like laying on the end of our bed and we move one of our feet, she just jumps off and runs off the bed really fast. So it really is like when she wants it, she wants it. When she doesn't, she doesn't. I don't know how she would respond to like a little kitten trying to cuddle with her. I don't know about that. Oh no, she loves like little animals like to death. Yeah, she always tries to, even when we've had other little dogs over and stuff like that, she's like tries to protect them and yeah, like they're her puppies kind of thing. So yeah, she would definitely fall in love with it. I don't know if she would let it cuddle with her like that. She might. She's getting older. She's 9, so she might be more apt to want to have that type of relationship. So I don't know. So we have our neighbor's got another a little dog, and it can fit through our fence. So it's come across into our yard a couple times, and Sora just doesn't even worry about it. She's just like, "Oh, hi, little dog." You know, it's like, "Oh, cool, you're good." So I know she would be fine with another little creature. She'd be okay with that. I have 50k buttons now. Wow. I really do need to get you. I need to put some type of reward up there. Maybe in like even like a point hole or point dump scenario, somewhere where you can just put them all towards something. If you have any ideas, let me know. Hey, thank you, Vern, for putting your points towards our assistant, Sora. We need another assistant. Yeah, Dreamer's trying to convince me again of gotta get another assistant. Of course, yeah. we'll see. I don't know if I'll be ready for another one. 'Cause the last one was enough of a heartache, so. And I know when Sora goes, that one's going to be a hard one too, so. I don't know. Sunny was talking about that earlier too, about, or even Dreamer was about the kids and them getting ready to, like, my son's about ready to start college in the fall here. So it's a whole different experience for them now, or would be a whole different experience for them, and they might not even be around for most of it, depending. So it'd be weird. That's the crazy part about Patch. Like, 20 years old, he made it through all of my son's life. Like, he was there for all of those moments and stuff like that. 18 years of Jeff's life. Just crazy. He's never not known Patch to be in his sphere, you know what I mean? Didn't have much interaction with him, but just was always there. Oop, I feel like it's getting a little thin here. Either that or the material's moving around more than other times. Yeah, we made it. We got all of them. Got all of them signed and dated and numbered. How about that? We did it. Not bad. 22. Not bad at all. Okay, Vern, I'll give you I'll give you the decision here. Talked about it earlier, but do you like the black and white that we have here right now? Or I did a sample where I colored in a little bit here. Do we like the color maybe for the background? Just for funsies. You decide. Dun, 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 dun.
Black and white.
I know your vote, Dreamer. I know it's black and white. Black and white is cute. Yep, there you go. Vern agrees. The tribunal has spoken. It is decided. Since we have some time here, let's have some fun real quick. How much time we got left? We got about 10 minutes. Let's do like a blue, maybe a green. Just for funsies. Let's do blue up here.
color would be cute too. Oh, see, she's back and forth on you.
No, black and white.
You have to color 22 of them. Then it truly would be a individual art piece. Each one would be hand colored like this. That'd be cool. No, I agree. I like the black and white as well. Yeah, it's not bad. Interesting. It's definitely a lot darker blue than I thought it was going to be. I think if I was going to do color, though, I'd want to have these professionally printed. Not that I don't like the coloring on this, but might as well go for the gusto. I'm going to do it this way. Yeah, these markers are okay. They're not wonderful. But they're okay. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Kind of cool. Kind of like the idea. You see the... Yeah, it's cute. It's not bad. It doesn't bleed through either, so that's nice. Oh, it's definitely still wet though. Just dragged my whole hand through that. Alright peoples, we are down to about 1:40 till our last ad break, so I'm going to switch us over to our outside cam for now, and then we'll do the ad break, and then we'll come back and we'll roll up our stream for the afternoon. So stick around, we'll be right back here shortly.
All right. So we're out there making ourselves comfortable. I wish I could be that comfortable all the time. Just chillaxing like that. I feel like every day is a day at the beach for her when she's doing this. All right, let's head back over to here for a second. Swap this out. There we go. We got all of our bags signed, dated. Got each one of them marked for their edition came out, or when they were the order that they were printed in. Yeah. She is so chill, like super, super chill. For a husky, she's beyond chill. It's sometimes weird. But yeah, we did it. We got our little sample, playing around with some colors. Kind of like that still. I'll move that real quick. Kind of like the color, kind of fun. Maybe we'll do a special edition of one or something like that at some point. Do some color on it. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah. But we have come to the end of our stream for the day. Thank you everybody for coming by. Thank you Inverness. Thank you Sunny. Thank you Alex. Dreamer was in here too, even though she's here with me now. But thank you all. Thanks for coming. Let me double check. Am I in the right spot? I am in the right spot. Goals. Let me double check to see if anybody I know is on streaming. You guys want to go raid Sage's stream? I'm not getting notifications when he's live right now, which is bothering me. Let's go raid Sage's stream. Let's go say hi to him. So, have a good rest of your Monday. And I will be back on Wednesday. We'll have some books to open up and look over and stuff like that. So that's going to be a fun stream on Wednesday. We got about almost 200 books coming. Yeah, for upcoming events. So it'd be fun. So have a good, like I said, rest of your Monday. I'll see you all. Let's see. Gotta press the buttons. Raid channel. Pick Sage. Let's go ahead and start that raid. So have fun everybody. We will see you next time. Bye.